And here's my friend, Michelle Fox. Thank you, Marie. I always love to see you and hear your voice. Welcome to community. So excited you are here with us to make simple, easy, delicious, and most important to me, high nutrition meal. So to get started, before I jump in, because I always get very excited about food and nutrition, I would love to know where you're from. Go ahead, put it in the chat box and let to know where you're from. And if you haven't started typing yet, or even if you have, let me know one thing you're grateful for. With, the weather changing, spring is upon us, it's starting to feel a little bit lighter. I think sometimes it's a little easier to pull out those gratitude. So let me know. And while the chat box is filling up, I just want to let you know a few housekeeping items, which is one, my chat box is actually right below the screen. So when you see me look down, just know that I am still with you, still have my full attention. But with technology, it's just easier for me to have my. The second thing relating to the screen as well is that if you want to follow along, hopefully you're also cooking with me today, you can find, as Marie shared, the bottom of your screen if you're on laptop or a desktop. It's about the little circle that looks like paper. You'll see the recipe I created for you there. If you're on an iPad, you should see the recipe on the left side of your screen. And that red circle in the middle that looks like paper. You should have your recipe there. So now let's see who's in the room. Oh, we've got Sandra from South Carolina. Welcome, Sandra. Richard from Pennsylvania. Welcome. Linda from Asheville. Love it. I've never been to Asheville before. Let's see. Donna from Tennessee. We've got Keith in Fort Campbell. I love it. Welcome, Keith. Puerto Rico in the house. Welcome. Love it. I got Ohio. Let's see anybody except Alyssa and Sense. She is grateful for family. One of my people. I am so grateful for family as well. And I'm grateful that you decided to show up today. For all of you, I know that as the world is opening up more, you have a few more options. And so me and AARP are super grateful you decided to be right here, right now. I promise to keep it fun and entertaining and hopefully very educational for you as well. Let's see, I'll look for a few more and then I'll jump into the food. So Mike, welcome from Michigan. He says he is grateful for life. Love that. And sometimes we have people from everywhere tonight. Love it. Yes, Marlene and Aurora. But oh wow, it's just coming. Well, thanks you all who contributed to the chat. But even if you didn't get a chance to, we are so glad you are here. So tonight we're making a spring salad. One, because as the weather gets warmer, a lot of us just don't want to be in the kitchen. And sometimes we can lean on some unhealthy choices. But I want to bring you back to just the simplicity of a salad. And some of you might be saying, it's a salad. We could, everybody does it. But I bring it back to you and just ask, when was the last time you had a carving salad that not only tasted good, but kept you full for a good 2 to 3 hours? I don't know, but let's try and jump into it. So with my spring salad, it's going to cover the bases. I often talk about my PFF, which is protein, fiber, and fat, healthy fats. We have those three components in any meal. We're going to stay satiated for longer, and it supports our brain health, which for any of us who are over 40, which I'm guessing most of us are, we want to be supporting our brain health more than anything because our hormones are changing and our brain is what tells our hormones what to do and where to go. So the brain is happy when we're getting those healthy fats like the olive oil, avocado oil. Tonight we have actual avocados. I love avocados. But actually, as I'm thinking about that, I know not everybody loves avocados. So as I go through, I will try and talk about substitutions for some of the ingredients that we have on your recipe list. And if you have questions along the way and or comments, because I trust that this community perhaps has a wisdom that I don't even have, please feel free to share it with the community or in the chat with the community. Because you never know who might be helping along the way. All right. Without further ado, we are going to make lemon garlic vinaigrette first. And what I love about this vinaigrette is one, it's a nice reminder to us that we can make our own salad dressings. I typically make one on the weekend and then it lasts throughout the week. But through the weekend, I don't eat salads every day. Don't worry. And I'm not going to ask you to do the same. So my salad dressing typically does last up to a month because it has the protective, well, also anti-inflammatory ingredients from garlic. So grab either your blender, your food processor, or just a simple bowl with the whisk, and we are going to start pouring in the ingredients. So first, we've got a quarter cup of olive oil. That's one by memory. I should never by memory. I could slip down. Half cup olive oil, actually. In this bowl that I'm using happens to have measurements on the sides. I'm going to pour half cup olive oil. And feel free to do a little dance while you're pouring. If it takes a little time, or even if it doesn't. We never needed to use dance. There's half cup olive oil. Next, we have 3 tablespoons cold cider vinegar. And while I'm dancing, hopefully this feels like a little, well, I was going to say a beach dance because when I think of Puerto Rico, I think of the beach. And then I just edited myself because I know not everybody in Puerto Rico is by the beach. I just happen to be a huge beach lover, so this is what I think of. On the beach with my friend here in Puerto Rico. And my silliness. Can anybody tell me, this is our first quiz I think. Anybody tell me why we want cold cider vinegar in our diets? And I'll give a moment. I'll check out the chat box. And while waiting for you to type it in, get bonus points if you know what the stuff on the bottom of the apple cider vinegar bottle is called. All right, I'm going to pour in 3 tablespoons. I'm just going to eyeball it. Let's see. Anybody has an answer of some of the benefits of using apple cider vinegar or oh, I love it. The Honoria on the say H. Got it. Nicely done. And you get the bonus. So yes, apple cider vinegar contains probiotics, which is wonderful to heal our guts. Guts, because our guts feed our brains. And of course, we want healthy guts and healthy brain. And the cloudy stuff that you typically see on the bottom of your apple cider vinegar is called the mother. And the mother is host to so many vitamins and minerals. And let's see if anybody else put in the help. So Mike says digestion, awesome. Cecilia says immune system, yes. And Linda got the mother at the bottom, yes. And then one last thing before I move on is it's awesome for, let's see, blood sugar. So for those of you who can kind of handle the tang or the taste of it, because it is a strong scent and a strong taste. If you can handle maybe like 1 tablespoon first thing in the morning, it's really good just to get those healthy probiotic minerals in our guts. So whether it's in the water or putting it in our vinaigrette, just get it in. All right, next we've got juice from half of a lemon. I went to the store actually just yesterday at the Costco, and they have these huge lemons. I was not expecting this. I normally expect little baby ones, but I'm going to put it actually at a quarter just because it's extra. If you have kind of like a regular size lemon, let's choose half of that lemon. Whether you have your regular handheld squeezer or really the old fashioned way is really to squeeze it with your hand to the dump it into the vinegar. I'm going to use my newfangled toy as a culinary nutritionist. The kind of toys that bring me joy. Like kitchen gadgets. Does anybody who might not be cooking and have their hands free have favorite kitchen gadget you want to share with us in the comments? I'd love to know. All right, we've got the lemon. Now we've got the olive oil, apple cider vinegar, the half a lemon, or juice for half a lemon. Now we're going to do 2 to 3 garlic cloves. We want to mince these garlic cloves. And if you're like me, which I imagine a lot of us in this community are. Pardon me, just got something caught in my throat. So if you're like me, you got a lot on your plate and you want some ways to simplify. Minced garlic is one way to save a little bit of time where it's already minced for you. I get that boy from Costco, but I know they sell little tubes of garlic at regular stores, health food stores. I'm just gonna again eyeball 2 to 3 tablespoons of a Vinaigrette already minced. You are doing amazing. Actually, I shouldn't even say that 'cause I don't want to do the judgment. Although you are doing really extra amazing. If you have an extra real garlic and you are mincing it handheld, yes, I'm going to go for it. So you get a plus and a gold star for mincing it from scratch. Whenever you have time, you can get organic, cook from scratch. It's going to actually be your healthiest option. So bravo to you and bravo to me for getting the garlic in. All right, next we've got sea salt. Fun fact, sea salt is actually has a similar pH level to our blood. So any of us who have issues with our blood, like blood pressure, stroke, we can use the sea salt instead of white stuff that has the chemicals in it. And it typically does not raise any blood pressure. That said, full disclaimer, I'm a nutritionist, not a doctor. So if you are having those issues, you might want to check with your doctor first. Okay, so as I double check. Oh, and then the last ingredient in it is fresh herbs. I say optional nutrition addition. I probably also could have said optional flavor addition. So I happen to have some extra cilantro. Oh, we made tacos last night. So I just chopped up some cilantro. I'm going to put that in. Any extra green herbs you might have laying around or that you actually want to purchase, bravo, bring it on because herbs are amazing detoxifiers specifically for our livers. So that's your cilantro, your parsley, your basil, all the green stuff, all the things you probably learned growing up. Still true. The green stuff in. All right. So that's it for the vinaigrette. So feel free to dance while you whisk, dance while you're blending it up if you're using your blender or your food processor. We just want it super blended because at the end, of course, we're going to pour this lusciousness on our spree. Living and all right. Want this extra creamy, so I'm just going to keep whisking from it. Now, woo, for those who are cooking with me, tell me in the comments, is your kitchen smell amazing? I would say lemon. Because the smell of lemon is probably my top or favorite aromatherapy. And it's just the best. And of course, the benefits are if we're putting it in our body, we're also getting the vitamin C. So, delicious smell plus the vitamin C. So, place your vinaigrette to the side so that we can give time to marinate and taste delicious. And then, of course, I've made this a couple of times. Sometimes I forget to taste it, but taste it first because you might need a little extra salt, a little extra vinegar. Tastes really good to me. So yeah, taste yours first though, and then add more if you need to. All right, let's check out this chat box and see what we've got going on. Allison says that is a Costco size lemon for sure. Yes, and it's another one. This is crazy big. All right. And Marlene says, my favorite kitchen tool is the microplane. Love it for ginger, zesting, and cheese. Love that. Yes. And hopefully you're really good about using the handheld parts so you don't like accidentally rip your skin. So love that. I love my plane too. It makes it go so much faster. And everything's so perfect. And then you look like you're a star in the kitchen, which Marlene, you probably are the star in the kitchen. So thank you for sharing. Thank you for participating. Okay. So next is the fun part. We're going to build the salad. Everyone. So I'm grabbing my plate and I got the spring. These were another Costco purchase, but you can get sprayers pretty much wherever you are. And now that the seasons are changing, a lot of us hopefully can start growing our own greens in our garden. Just a little wink, wink, nudge, nudge. It's actually going to be my summer project is to see how many veggies I can grow on my own. I'm here in Denver, so the summertime for those of us who garden is a really fun, exciting time because it gets really cold and we can't grow throughout the whole season. So after my this month, with our salad, we want to plate it first because there are a lot of amazing toppings we're going to put on, and we don't want those toppings getting to the bottom. So I am putting, and this is going to be a serving for one. You can see I've got a full plate loaded with greens. Anything I do tonight, put on more, put on less. If you have specific questions, of course, put those in the comments. But this is for you. I'm wanting to enjoy your dinner tonight. And I'm hoping that tonight you learn a hip tip or two so that moving out the spring, throughout the summer, you're encouraged to get this salad goodness in your body as well. Okay, so we're starting with the base of my greens. And then I'm saying one sliced boiled egg. I warned you, I got my toys. We got this egg slicer. And of course, feel free to slice individually with your hand. It was perfectly acceptable and actually pretty much accepted or expected. But this egg slicer makes the job go by so fast. Voila! It's like magic. Let me put this to the side. And then make it pretty because nutrition, when we make it edible, that just the likelihood that we're going to get this nutrition in our body. So I'm just placing these egg slices around the plate like so. All right. And then next, I say a handful of protein of your choice. Tonight, I'm choosing rotisserie chicken because the goal of the game was quick, easy meal. I don't mind sharing with you. I did get this chicken last week. I froze it. It freezes really easily. Another Costco. You would think I'm endorsed by Costco. I promise. I'm not endorsed by anything I talk about today. I just happen to have a really great deals sometimes. And you'll like their rotisserie chickens. So I got it last week, froze it, pulled it out last night, and I just warmed it up in the kitchen today. So I just kind of cut on a few pieces on the breast side. And so I'm going to sprinkle my salad with the chicken. Isn't that lovely? And another thing I love about the rotisserie chicken is, and of course, depending on how many people you have in your household, but this lasts our family usually get 2 to 3 days. We'll snack on the chicken for breakfast. We can put it in scrambles. We can snack on the chicken for lunch. We can make chicken salad and or just chicken sandwiches, or we just heat it up and we town on it. So love that. For my vegetarian friends, of course, you could choose any vegan or vegetarian protein. I do want you to have the protein in your body to feed your brain. So if you're going to go with tofu, I highly recommend it be organic because soy is not the best. But if it's organic, that means we could probably trust that it was safely sourced. What else? Last conversation we had with this community, somebody brought up the Beyond Meat crumbles. And so I have yet to try them, but some people enjoy those. I think those are my only suggestions right now for my vegetarian friends. For my meat eaters, the salad, I would encourage you to use any leftover meat when you're building your salad. So, for instance, I had, like I mentioned, tacos last night. So we've been talking about putting the ground turkey or ground meat on top of here, or if you have bacon, or really any protein, the salad makes it that much easier to get in. So I'm looking at you here, but I see things moving in the chat. So let me just double check before I move forward and make sure we're catching any questions. Let's see. Linda says, any recipe substitutions for chicken for vegetarians? Oh, yeah. I guess I got to you. So hope that helped, Linda. And I do love the idea of beans. I will tell you, dookie or the adzuki. I'm really bad with pronunciation sometimes, but the dark bean starts with an A and then it's a D. So let's just say aduki beans. They're going to be your highest in protein. So, and they kind of taste like black beans. So I would say look for the aduki beans. And then Allison likes the deal. The rotisserie chickens are the best deal. I agree. And for those of you who have Whole Foods in your neighborhood, they typically have $2 off on Wednesday. So if you're gonna buy the rotisserie chicken and you're planning ahead for the week, buy it on a Wednesday and save a little bit of money. Let's see. Marlene loves a rotisserie with a sense buddy. Yay, see Linda? Me and you. And you. We're there. Okay, so we've got our layer of protein and then Susan says chickpeas are protein. Well done, Susan. Let's just jump right in there. Okay, so yes, you're right. Got the chickpeas here. So it's the additional protein. Very well done. It also is a healthy carb. So back to being satiated. Your girl does not like to be hungry. I imagine that's the same for you. I think that's a human need, right? For us to feed ourselves. So anytime I can get the maximum nutrition in and be satiated and support my brain and increase my energy and up my brain health, I'm gonna do it. And they're banda beans, chickpeas, whatever you want to call them. And hell, plus they're just really delicious. So yes, thank you, Susan, for putting those on next. Nicely done. I'll put that to the side. What else? Cucumber slices. So I just kind of ordered mine. Feel free to slice yours in half or dice them even smaller if you want to. But when I quarter them, it just makes it easier for my fork to scoop it up or to pierce it. Interesting fact with cucumbers, just to share with you, is one, they are loaded with vitamin C. So we do want to keep the cucumbers in our diet. We know that vitamin C is great to support our immune system. But an interesting thing that I found when I went to school was that cucumbers actually start losing their vitamin C quite shortly after we cut them. So if you have cucumbers and you're trying to plan ahead, I would say bring the knife with you. Like if you're taking the cucumber to work, instead of chopping it and then taking it somewhere with you, I would say bring the knife, chop it with you for when you get to eat it, because we want the maximum amount of nutrients it. So there's our cucumber. What do we have next? It's a hot half of an avocado sliced. So I'm peeling this and it feels kind of soft. As we know with avocados, they always have a one. So let's see if we can look out on this one. So with a 50-50 chance. 3, 2, 1. Holy thank you. I knew this group was bringing the luck tonight. This is a beautiful avocado. And let's see who was listening when I first said it at the top of the call. Tell me what I want avocados in. Like slice this. I will wait to read it in the chat box because a really smart group. So I know somebody is listening. And or somebody probably already knows. But another way to say it, let me have the benefit of the avocado. Okay. Althea says, for the fat, you are the winner. Yes. So this is the healthy fat that's supporting our brains. Cheryl got the good fats. Linda got the good healthy fat. Nice. I'll play the page again. I apologize. The 3. We've done it. Yes. The healthy fats. Catherine, Marlene, Linda. You guys are on it. Nice. Okay. So with the avocado, I just sliced it horizontal and vertical, kind of charting. And now, fun tool or fun way to get it out of the skin. My bonus daughter actually taught me this. Once you cut it in the skin, you just kind of peel it and say silverware. Makes it fun. And it gets all the yummy avocado out. Voila. Okay, next we've got, well, on the list is the fair amount of beans, but we jumped in there. Thanks to Susan. I appreciate that. Next, I say handful of cherry tomatoes sliced in half. And that's typically because that's what I have on hand. I've got 3 kiddos. And so while I'm cooking dinner here in the kitchen, I'll usually lay out either a bowl of cherry tomatoes that they just put in their mouth, make it easy, or I'll do sliced peppers, like sliced bell peppers. They love those, the red, the orange, the yellow. Sometimes I pull out pickles. Sometimes I pull out olives. Sometimes I like 2 or 3 of them just sitting here so that I never get, I'm hungry. What's dinner ready? What are we having for dinner? They just know, grab some snacks, let mama do her thing, and dinner will be there shortly. So, just a tip for you if you're sharing your household with anybody, it's nice. And for yourself, of course, it's I'm eating the snacks too. So, just a little tip to help to keep the hunger monster at bay. All right, now we have. Oh, and I said that's why I have the cherry tomatoes on there. But you can use regular tomatoes. You can use sun-dried tomatoes. Delicious. So experiment. Have fun. Next, I said any other veg you love. So let's see if I grab anything here while I sprinkle my halved cherry tomatoes. Put out a regular tomato. Ooh, I did pull out my parsley and my cilantro. And I think I'll pass on that since we already put the cilantro in the vinaigrette. We've got our extra herbs covered there. We double check the check over here. Let's see. Good for your grade. Yes, Maida, nicely done. So Michelle says, I have a question. Awesome. So awesome, Michelle, I'm happy to help. I'm happy to help you out. And Sando, thanks so much. I appreciate your comments. Okay, so next, when I said any other veggie you love, that could be a celery, that could be leftovers from dinner or from lunch yesterday. Do what makes your body and your taste buds happy. Lastly, I've got the sprouts. Actually, I said lastly, but I also just eyeball the pumpkin seeds, which we'll talk about in a moment. But sprouts, whether they're alfalfa sprouts, these happen to be broccoli sprouts. One, make the plate really fun and make it look delicious. But as a nutritionist, I gotta let you know, they are loaded with nutrients. And they too are great prebiotics and probiotics. They got both. So they're going to feed our guts and keep our guts happy. And then I said last but not least, here we go. Pumpkin seeds. Another healthy fat. I love adding pumpkin seeds because they just add a nice crunch to the salad. We want our food delicious to increase the chance of getting the nutrients in our body. Okay, let's see here. Okay, no more questions. So now we've got our salad. Ta-da! Can we get a whoop whoop? And as I'm looking this, I'm like, my eyes were bigger than my tummy. I'm not gonna eat this whole salad tonight. But the beauty is I am gonna take it for lunch tomorrow. And it's gonna be just that much more delicious tomorrow as it is tonight. So grab your vinaigrette. You still have your whisking. Feel free to whisk it a bit more. If you blend with it, I'm sure it's perfectly blended. Oh, and just as a reminder, this vinaigrette can last you up to even 4 weeks because you do have the protective properties of the garlic in this vinaigrette. Let's gently drizzle. And because this is all a healthy fat, go ahead and load it on if you like extra saucy. If you just like a touch, good for you too. And then the captain says, looks good. Diana's asking, don't bean sprouts have a problem with contamination? Great question, Diana. So I would say with that, be really sort of conscientious of the company or the brand that you're buying from. I typically shop at Sprouts, and not that they're perfect. There's no place that's going to be perfect, but a lot of their veggies are sourced locally. And anytime you can get locally sourced veggies, you're going to have a lower chance of that mold decontamination. So I would say if you like bean sprouts, just look for where you can buy them locally and you'll be fine. Great question. Okay, let's see. Richard says thanks have to go. Great to have you here, Richard. Marlene says yum. And Linda said, enjoy your great tips and things we got. So, yay. Thank you, Linda. Thanks for bringing the energy along with me. So now I'm going to take a bite before we get off. And let's see. Ooh, I think we're going to get some chicken in there. Get that protein on the top. That's really good. All right. So there we have it. I have a few more things to say. So if you want to stick around, love to have you in this community. One, we will be back in June, June 2nd to be exact. And I will be talking about 3 summer appetizers that will be filling and delicious. And my goal for that class is to help you be a star at all of your summer picnics because these appetizers are so loaded with nutrition, really delicious. So come back, join us June 2nd, and then let's see what we've got here. Love that question, Sandra. So she says, any special tip to keep the avocado from browning if preparing salad in advance and don't want to put it on the dressing or the citrus? Love that. One, love that you know that the citrus is going to be a great preservative. So yes, but also that if you put it on in advance, it will be a little bit soggy. So yes, I would keep the vinaigrette on the side in a glass jar. As far as avocado, I would, um, yep. So I did, but if you know that you're going to be using the second half of your avocado the next day, I would just save that second half, even though it's empty, save it as a chopper, put it in a glass jar, put it on an airtight lid, and you'll be fine. I would say even up to 3 days, you should. And if it turns too brown, I would, well, if it's like 4 or 5 days, maybe we just release it. But after 2 to 3 days, if you still haven't used it, maybe you can mash it up, put a little salsa on it, get a little chip, you can have guacamole. So great question. Thank you for asking. Marlene says, thank you. You are welcome. Let's see. Any other questions as I'm reading it? Thank you. I love croutons. What is a healthier choice? Great question, Jerry. So in all my teaching, I do teach 100% gluten-free. The beautiful thing is there are plenty of options to get gluten-free croutons at even like the regular grocery stores now. As I mentioned before, I typically shop in Sprouts and Whole Foods because I just feel confident in the, I should say, the produce that they bring in. But I'm keeping my eyes open if you really, really, really love croutons to try the gluten-free type because then they're going to be less inflammatory. Otherwise, I would say if you could play around with the nuts, 'cause I'm guessing you like the croutons for the crunch, the nuts are going to give you that healthy brain fat and give you that yummy, salty crunch as well. So I hope it helps too. Let's see. Beverly says this will be perfect for company. I'm expecting. Yay, I'm so glad. You're welcome. I'm so glad you're here, Beverly. Good tip. Linda, thanks for the chickpeas. Oh, so the question is with the chickpeas, do you can them or cook them? So what I said earlier, as far as cooking from scratch, if you can make the time to make your own chickpeas, A plus, you get that all day long. I will admit the chickpeas I used tonight did get out of can, but a little hip tip there is the can is BPA free. So anytime you're using canned goods, we want to look at the label and make sure it says BPA free. Because if it doesn't, then there's a good chance that that BPA, which is a chemical, is leaching into your food. So I love how these questions can kind of lead to other questions. So thank you all so much for contributing to our community conversation. I'll check for any more questions and then we will wrap it up. Linda says, thanks again. You are welcome. Thanks so much for being here. Ooh, the roasted chickpeas would be a nice added crunch. Thank you for sharing. See, I love that idea. And the roasted chickpeas are a nice snack too. If you, for some of my friends who maybe kind of gravitate towards the chips during that kind of midday slow, crunchy chickpeas, excellent, excellent choice, including like plantain with sea salt. That could be a nice crunch as well. Okay. Well, I think that's good. Thank you all again for being here. Come back. Come hang with us June 2nd. We're going to make the 3 filling and delicious summer appetizers. That's it. Thank you so much for being here. Have a wonderful evening.